you know, like the sobbing, like really strong sobbing, and like from the bottom of your soul, you can't even talk, and you're like trying to muster words to say in the heat of the moment. And it was so hard. My dad told me I wouldn't be his daughter if I wasn't a doctor, and like those things, you guys, it's funny now, but at the time, it really hit me really hard. If you ever have your parents tell you stuff like that, it's really hard. And in the heat of the moment, I thought to myself, oh my God, if I have the choice of being my parents' daughter or being happy, what a tough choice, right? I chose to be happy. And so I told my parents, sobbing, that I loved them very much, but I wanted to be happy and I was not going to be a doctor. Okay, so that World War I ended, and there was time to reconstruct. So time passed, like 1 or 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. Everybody cooled off, right? Parents cooled off, I cooled off. And thankfully, my parents decided to continue paying for my schooling at Hopkins because that was one of their things. They wouldn't stop paying for Hopkins. And how many friends do you guys have now after just 1 semester or 2 semesters or 4 years of college? You've made some of the best friends you've ever made, right? Some of you. And it was the thought of just not being able to come back. I had a plan B too. I didn't at the time that I told them, but I was going to join ROTC. I was going to pay for it somehow. But in the end, it all worked out. They agreed to continue paying for my schooling. And that was pretty awesome because now I don't have $100,000 of debt, which is amazing. And another doctor. Woohoo! So what did I learn, you guys? People are going to think that you're dumb and stupid no matter what you decide to do in your life. Even if it's something that you think is honorable, like saving people's lives, or being a coach, a life coach, revelation coach. People are going to think you're stupid no matter what you do in life. So just do what makes you happy. What's the point of continuing doing something that is making you fucking miserable every single day? There really isn't a point. So just do what makes you happy. So I want you to get involved again, okay? I need you to repeat after me. Just do what makes you happy. Go. Just do what makes you happy. Again. Just do what makes you happy. One more time. Just do what makes you happy. Okay, guys. Second set. What do you want to hear?
Alcohol.
Alcohol. I heard that one. By the way, my husband totally called it. You guys were going to pick alcohol. Okay, so I kind of told you a little bit before. When I got here, I was a good little girl. I hadn't done a lot of bad things. I was kind of naive in that way. And I was very, very scared of alcohol. Not for the reasons that you might think. I really didn't care that it was unhealthy or not. Okay? It was more of a religious idea that I had that it came with very negative connotations. And also, I'm going to get real with you guys here, okay? I had never kissed a guy when I came to college, and my hormones were raging. So I was kind of scared that if I had alcohol and I got drunk, I was going to have a lot of sex. And that scared me. So I didn't want a bad reputation, because there's still a stigma, you know? Anyways, I must have been in my second semester of freshman year, and I still hadn't drank 1 drop of alcohol. And it was kind of hard, even though you're not supposed to drink, right, Kathy, until you're 21. I was watching a lot of people have fun after they took their first drink, second drink. But I was a good girl. I wasn't going to drink. Not yet, no. I was not going to drink. And I had a buddy, one of my best friends. She didn't drink either. We were on the same page. And then peer pressure maybe set in. I don't know, curiosity. Everyone looked like they were having so much fun. So my best friend and I made a pact. We were going to drink some alcohol. So we made our merry little selves to the fraternity called Pike. How many of you guys are in Pike? Is there anyone in Pike in here? Or are you guys just shy? You don't want to be associated with type? I have this on camera, you know. People are going to hate me more if you don't do it. Okay, fine. Anyways, I went to Pipe with my best friend, and do they still serve the famous punch? I hear a couple chuckles, so that means yes. Anyways, it's a very strong drink. It tastes very good. And we were, you could call us lightweights, but I think we were like lightweights. So we shared a half a cup of punch. So I think I had a quarter of a red cup of punch. And I was so scared because I didn't know if I was going to be an angry drunk, a horny drunk, a sad drunk. I didn't know, and it scared me to death. But it ended up that I was just a really happy drunk and a nerdy drunk too. But it doesn't sound like a big deal, right? I just had a little bit of alcohol. Woo-hoo. But it was so much more than that for me at the time. Because that little bit of alcohol for me represented challenging everything that I had become to that day. It meant challenging everything that I had learned to be, everything I learned that was good and what I was supposed to live my life according to this way. It challenged everything about who I was. And it scared the shit out of me. And I didn't know if I was going to be having sex with everybody or like cussing people out, because let's be honest, I have a sailor's mouth. And I didn't know if I was going to be an angry drunk or crying down the street, because as I told you guys, there were a lot of other things going on in my life, and I just didn't know. So, you know, sometimes bad things happen when you drink alcohol. And I wish that I could tell you that every time I drank after that was a happy moment. Like that first memory with my friend when I played Charlie's Angels and Pipe. Who does that? But I did. I was a nerdy little girl. But I learned very quickly anyway. Sometimes things don't go your way. There are a lot of things that happened to me after I drank that I didn't particularly like, and I still don't. Some things that make me sad when I think about it, when I think back on my college years. I ended up having my first kiss when I was drunk with a guy that I really loved. So it wasn't all that bad. But things get sloppy when you're drunk, right? So it's kind of an iffy kiss. Anyway, things get really scary. Sometimes things, good things happen, sometimes they don't. But you have to embrace fear. And no matter what happens afterwards, it's always worth it. Only if you make it worth it, though. Because you could learn from your mistakes, or you could learn from those moments that don't always go right. Right? 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 So, I want you to do it again. I want you to repeat after me. Okay? Embrace fear.
Embrace fear.
It's worth it every time.
It's worth it every time.
I want you to repeat it. Embrace fear.
Embrace fear.
It's worth it every time.
It's worth it every time.
One more time. Touch the person next to you. Embrace it every time. Embrace fear. It's worth it every time, guys. You know the drill. Come on, guys. Oh, this was good. Negotiate what you want. Again, I want to hear it. What do you want to hear? Oh my God. Okay, someone do really loud.
Sex and engineering!
Thank you. Yeah. That's pretty obvious, I think. Okay, totally won that. You guys, okay. It's not that type of, that's not that type of sex. It is pretty sex, but we'll see. Okay, sex and engineering. When I graduated from Hopkins, I didn't go straight into engineering for that little bit of time. As I told you before, I did project management, and when I got hired, the youngest person in my region to be in project management. And I had to boss around people that were my dad's age and older, which was really strange for me because imagine how that would be, telling somebody your dad's age what to do. It's a little weird.